everybody. Happy Valentine's Week. I'm Katie Lovett. I'm a registered dietitian, and this is the Nourished and Thriving Show. Welcome. Really excited to talk with you guys today about our topic. And I'm going to feed it in a little bit here about, I hear a lot from patients whenever they're just starting with me, or maybe they kind of like fell off the wagon, so to speak. Things came up and they struggled to get back into the actions that they were wanting to take. And they say, I just need to get more motivation. I just can't find that motivation. And that may be true to get you started. Sometimes you do need to be motivated, so to speak, but that's not the only thing that you need. And it's not always the like missing ingredient. And so, I want to talk about what are the missing ingredients? What can we do? If you're struggling to feel motivated, if you're struggling to make the decisions that need to be made and take the actions that need to be taken to line up with your health goals, what can you do? If you're missing that like momentum, how can you start that momentum, right? A lot of the time it's just getting started is the challenging thing, but then what people don't realize a lot of the time in health, and whenever they're chasing their health goals, is you have to keep making those decisions day after day after day. Some really successful, athletes or bodybuilders are ones who, have the exact same routine every single day. Maybe they're eating the same foods every day. And well, I don't necessarily recommend that because we need diversity to support our microbiome, which was our word of the week last week. It can be helpful to at least have similar frameworks week after week, day after day, to set you up for success, to remove decision fatigue or any friction, kind of bumping up into those ideas. So that's kind of the general concept we're talking about today. If it's not motivation, what is it? Or if it is motivation in those instances, how can we get it? We have a fun game that we're going to play here in a little bit. I have a special guest sitting in the room with me right now. So make sure you stay tuned. I think it's going to be really fun and interactive. And, so I think get your questions ready. We'll kind of be watching the chat and look for your comments during this too. So I think before we get into all of that, I wanted to get through a few reasons. You guys know I like my lists and my bullet points. I'm a dietitian who we are normally pretty type A people. So I think in lists and bullet points, but I think it just helps us to stay organized with where we're going. We have an hour together, and so I don't want us to spin in circles too much. I want to go through about 4 different reasons why things may not go according to how you want them to go. What else may be at play here besides just being motivated? You're not just lazy. I hear that too. I'm just lazy. I just want to lay around, or I just want to sit around. I don't want to get up and work out. I don't want to cook dinner, so I should go through the drive-thru. I'm lazy. There's some other stuff going on here too, so don't be too hard on yourself. We just need a better strategy a lot of the time, or more intentionality around our decisions. So the first thing that can be at play here is being unstable with your blood sugar. I am not a statistics person off the top of my head. I just don't think that way, but I'm sure there is a great statistic out there that I've read in the last month that says how many Americans tend to have unstable blood sugar. Kevin, if you have that number. Not to put you on the spot, but a lot.
Quick, though,
yeah.
they're in the chat talking about their horrible diets and whatnot.
Okay.
And here, Lugnut, he's sitting here eating some chocolate chip cookies.
Okay.
I'm literally responding to him right now that I'm drinking a milkshake. Oh, I'm sorry, a protein shake with ice cream. So yeah,
oh my goodness, you guys.
We're in good company tonight.
Okay. We can talk about ways to kind of optimize all of that stuff too, with our goals. So, okay. So blood sugar instability, why this is important for making our choices that we want to make is, I'm making sure I have that chat pulled up because I didn't do that. Whenever you have insulin resistance, your body is really struggling to regulate. I want to explain this physiology for you for a minute. So You eat something that has carbohydrate in it, your body breaks it down into sugar, glucose. You may have seen glucose, or you may have heard, what is your fasting glucose on your blood work. And our bodies like to keep everything in a very tight window, very regulated. And so you eat something, your blood sugar increases because you've just eaten it, the food gets digested, goes into your bloodstream, and the sugar goes up. Okay, so then your body doesn't like the blood sugar to be very high. It can cause a lot of damage. That's where we see some damage coming along from, if you have poorly controlled diabetes, stuff like that. And so it's going to store that sugar away for later. And so what it does to do that is it secretes something called insulin. Insulin is like a little escort that escorts the blood sugar around to all of the different fat cells to help them get into the cells. So insulin's job is to lower blood sugar. Okay, so you can get a little bit in a difficult balance, a kind of a difficult dance, so to speak, if your blood sugar is not very well regulated, where you eat something that's not very high in fiber maybe and very high in carbohydrate. That's going to spike up that blood sugar that's in your body, secretes insulin to go match that blood sugar. Okay, well, maybe it was too much insulin, so now your blood sugar's in the tank, and you're feeling stable blood sugar state. You're not making very clear decisions. If you've ever been like hangry or shaky, like needing food, you're just like, oh my gosh, give me whatever is fastest to digest. That's your body trying to regulate its blood sugar, which is cool, but it can be a difficult ride to get off of, if that makes sense. So it's this like spike and crash cycle. And that's physiology. That's not just lack of discipline. Now, are there things that we can do to help set us up to not get onto that, roller coaster to begin with? And so we'll get into that here in a little bit. But blood sugar is at play in choosing the foods that we're going to reach for, especially whenever we're hungry. Sleep deprivation is the second thing. So first was blood sugar. Second is sleep deprivation. There are studies after studies after studies showing that lack of sleep, poor sleep, raises our hunger signals, our hunger hormones in our body. You also are not as good at making sound decisions whenever you're sleep deprived or you've gotten poor sleep. I think I can't remember what the number is or the study, but there's something about like if you're enough deprived in your sleep, it's almost akin to like driving under the influence, right? If you're out on the road driving and you're sleep deprived. That's not just with driving, right? That applies across everything in your life where you're trying to make decisions. You're going to seek comfort, right? And immediate gratification in those choices because you're uncomfortable, you're sleep deprived, and you're tired, and you're not going to think very rationally in that moment. It also increases those cravings for quick energy. So comfort, but also energy, fuel, so those easily, quickly digestible carbohydrates are going to give you that immediate boost of sugar. But then, like we just talked about, it can crash, and then you reach for something else, and then you crash, and you're just like on this really unregulated cycle throughout the day, reaching for things, trying to fix it that can only make it worse sometimes. 3 is a chronic stress load. I think a lot of us are feeling that. Decision fatigue is a real thing, right? We're just tired of making decisions. We just reach for whatever is convenient. And, comfortable. That's going to help us feel better and some comfort because we're tired of making decisions. We've got a heavy load on our shoulders that we're carrying, and food can provide comfort, comfort food. I just took some homemade bone broth to a neighbor who's suffering from the flu. She's been super, super sick. I took a meal to a friend a few weeks ago who just welcomed a new baby into their family. And it's supposed to help them, but it's also providing them some comfort. And so we can comfort ourselves with food if we're feeling overly stressed or tired, or, anything like that. High cortisol levels, which is kind of that stress, drive, response, that's that fight or flight response, that increases insulin, which makes us kind of crave blood sugar as well, or not blood sugar, sugar to bring our blood sugar up as well. Sorry, I misspoke there. So cortisol levels come from stress. If we're chronically stressed, those cortisol levels can become kind of dysregulated. High cortisol over time increases insulin. And remember, insulin's job is to bring down glucose. So your body seeks out carbohydrate, glucose, to kind of offset that insulin. And so that is shown to cause us to seek those foods. And then kind of the title of this video is in line with this third reason here, is that depleted nervous systems can't just push through long term, right? This burnout concept is a real thing. And so seeking comfort wherever we can. And a lot of the time food may be the only thing you feel like you can control in your life. And so unfortunately we do see it kind of going both ways, right? Where we have some disordered eating on, any end of the spectrum where you're seeking that control that you feel like the rest of your life is kind of spiraling out of control. And so you're kind of grasping for it or funneling that control into what you eat, what you put in your body. And then fourth is a lack of strategy. I think environment is greater than willpower. I think one thing about an environment, having an environment that sets you up for success reduces your need for willpower too. So I have a patient who has a history of drinking a lot of soda. And she really blames this high soda intake for a lot of weight gain, kidney issues, diabetes diagnosis. And she knows if it's around her, she's going to drink it. And she completely quit drinking it at all for like 3 years, and saw a lot of these health issues start to improve. And then over the holidays, they hosted family. Soda came back into the house and it got drank, and so it's a matter of it being there in the house or not. If she just never buys the soda, she's not having to make the decision if she's going to drink it or not. It's not playing in the back of her mind there. And if you don't have a plan, if you don't know what you're going to do for a meal, you're going to get hangry. You're going to think in the moment. Your blood sugar is going to be dysregulated. You're going to be stressed out and tired at the end of the day. And you're going to reach for what's easy and what's comfortable because you're tired and that's what you've set yourself up to do. But if you have kind of a strategy with your plan, you have a plan in place, you have food in place, you're going to be able to reach for those things in that moment. If you don't have any food available, you're going to grab a snack. You're going to run to the gas station, which we're going to talk more about in a minute. Grab something there. You're going to hit up the drive-through line, stuff like that, and not be in line with your choice that you really want to make and wish that you would make. If you don't have any structure, that motivation is going to fade really fast at the end of the day. So those four things again, I just gave it number 3. 4 things again: blood sugar instability, sleep deprivation, chronic stress load, and then a lack of strategy. And so something I want you guys to visualize here is motivation can be like a spark that helps ignite that fire of health or seeking health. But having the capacity and bandwidth to be able to take these things on is really the fuel. If you are out of capacity, it's like your car running out of gas. You stop on the side of the road, right? So motivation is a spark, capacity is the fuel, and then strategy is the structure. So those are kind of good things to keep in mind. So if you're making choices and you find yourself doing things day in and day out that are really not things you want to be doing, and maybe you're regretting that, you're like, man, I ate another frozen burrito the other day, Keith. We were talking about frozen burritos the other day. Dang it. I was going to cut those out and I had 5 of them. Whatever it is, you can look at those things and see, okay, was I just not motivated? That can look like I really didn't have the desire to change in the first place. My reason for changing wasn't clear. Something like that. I didn't remember the reason that I said I was going to do that. You can look at your capacity. Man, I was slammed this week and I was so tired, and I had those in the freezer and I was hungry, and I didn't have that capacity to come up with anything else or do anything else, or, strategy. So I never came up with a different plan. I said I was going to cut these out, but I didn't come up with what I was going to have. So I defaulted back to my normal go-to because that's all I could think of in the moment. So let's talk about what happens when real life hits and you find yourself standing in the gas station at 2 p.m. We're going to play a game. I'm looking over at my guest here.
We'd like to play a game.
I don't know what this is. Do you know what that do you want to play a game is?
In the chat. I know someone in the chat.
Anyone?
I'd like to
Does
play
anyone
a
know
game.
what that is? I've never
Who
heard
can
of
name
this before.
that trivia right there? Who can name the movie?
Anyone? Not me.
Oh, we've got somebody out here that watches TV.
I don't know. I think I'm seeing
Let's see.
anyone. Anyone? Get
There we go. Good job. Someone's out there.
Anyways, okay, so we're gonna do this. If I could get my windows on my computer to cooperate, that would be amazing. Okay, we are going to rate some gas station picks. I also think it could be fun to do a poll in the YouTube chat between men and women on who tends to walk into the gas station when they stop and get gas in their car.
That's a good challenge.
I feel
like that.
it is a guy thing. I don't know. I don't go into gas stations, but I also normally have kids with me or I'm rushing. But my husband, my dad, these guys here with me, they're like, oh yeah, I always go into the gas station and get stuff.
It depends on the staff sometimes.
Okay.
There's a cute lady at the register.
Oh my gosh. But anyways, I'm curious if you guys are doing that. Going into the gas station. Okay. So I want to kind of frame this up before we get started. What we're going to do is Dr. Dustin has brought in some gas station picks, and I need you to clarify for me if these were like you picked the least health supporting options you could find. I wanted to think about how I wanted to phrase that, or if these are things you would actually choose. I need that context. And then we're not rating you. I'm not judging you. I just want to think about it as how these foods support stable energy, optimal function in your body, all of that. I am not equating anything about what you're eating to what kind of person you are, anything like that. I think we are going to do like a yellow, red, green light system, not necessarily for good, worst, or anything like that. I think we're going to define it as the green is going to support stable energy and be a little bit more nutrient dense. The yellow is maybe okay, but maybe could become green if we paired it with something else or if we made a little adjustment. And red, as you're likely going to spike that blood sugar and then come crashing down and come crawling back for something else similar, not very long.
Are you telling me I can pair chips with a salad?
I'm telling you that will lead to more stable blood sugar than eating the chips by themselves.
So I can go from a possible red to a yellow to a green.
I mean, it's possible.
Maybe a glass of water too.
It's possible. Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
Okay. That sounds good. That's promising.
So, are we ready to get going?
Yes, ma'am.
Do I need to do anything?
Whenever you're ready.
How's my mic?
Unlocked.
All right. Hey, everybody. I'm actually really nervous about this. I'm not even presenting, and I'm like, man, why? I'm just sitting on the couch. Can I just like have some fun watching you educate us? But no, not tonight.
I feel like you're in the hot seat.
No, these are all. So the foods I picked out are foods that I eat on the regular from gas stations, and I mean I don't know anything about girls. I grew up with 5 younger brothers, and I do remember my dad taking us frequently to the gas station. but we would never just get, if my mom took us, we just sat there and waited for the tank to fill.
Yeah, and then you leaked.
No, not with my dad. You know, it would always be a chocolate milk involved if you're lucky, you know. But no, the foods I picked out, admittedly, are foods that I have all eaten within the last month. And so...
Likewise, mine
yeah.
too.
I think there's probably some healthier options in there, maybe some less so healthy options, but I am curious to see sort of where you rank all of them, and then maybe we could come up with maybe like well, you know, it's okay to indulge yourself every now and then, but maybe not like morning, noon, and night kind of thing.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. You know, and I think that that's a really important caveat, and I think that's something that may make me a little bit unique to some dietitians, or at least how people perceive dietitians to be. I mean, I came up here with you guys last Thursday. My daughters were going to the daddy-daughter dance with my husband, and I had my 4-year-old son, and had a mommy-son date. I took him to Cece's Pizza because that's where he wanted to go, and we had Cece's Pizza. I ate Cece's Pizza. Like, I don't think it's about being perfect. I think it's about being clear about what your goals are, clear about what you're going to do most of the time, and just be intentional with the decisions you're making, you know, most of the time. I don't think it's about being perfect. If someone has a favorite food that you just absolutely love, I am not going to tell you to cut it out. That's not even my place. My job is to advise on, hey, this is health supportive. This is not as health supportive. You can make the decision how you feel whenever you eat different things. And you can decide. You're an adult. You can decide how much you want to include it in your diet.
Yes.
You know, so my job is really education and supporting you in making decisions that support your health goals. I have a really cool visual exercise that we're going to do. Golly, my calendar is getting booked. We may have to do it like 5 weeks from now, 6 weeks from now. So stay tuned. We'll be there. We'll get there. But it's going to kind of illustrate that of, you know, that consistent activity on both ends of that spectrum, and what can happen. But I think, yeah, like food is, I think, one of the great joys and great pleasures in life. Yes, it supports us. Yes, it nourishes us. Yes, you know, we need nutrients to survive and to live well. But it also tastes really good, and it's meant to be enjoyed. And, you know, I think that's why we see about 50% of people who are on GLP-1s come off after 6 to 12 months, even if they're seeing good weight loss. It's because they're like, man, I'm just sick of not enjoying my food. Like, you know, I think food is meant to be enjoyed. It's truly a gift. So
I can tell you the foods I picked out are foods that I enjoy. Okay. In fact, I had to go back to the gas station probably 2 or 3 more times because I was preparing for this night, and then I had this stack of food in my office and actually just was eating through it. So I had to go back and replenish my supply for tonight. So here we go.
I love it. Okay, you guys, y'all should see the setup. I don't think y'all can see it. They have it like in a box.
You got to reach in and grab.
Paper. I don't know what's in here.
Yeah, she does not know what's in there. This is a surprise.
Trick me here. Okay. Okay. Oh, this is... Okay, so we went to 7-Eleven.
Okay, for the record, that's not mine.
For the record, that's mine. That was breakfast for me this morning.
Nobody eat this because it feels like it's cold. So that's one of my biggest. I'm really squeamish with like food poisoning opportunities. So I would be a little hard pressed to buy like something like this from a gas station. Just
it was in the hot oven.
I know, but I just get really nervous about like meat and like I don't know.
And sausage and egg and cheese.
I'm the
gas
same way.
Stations.
I can't eat McDonald's meat. That's how bougie I am.
It freaks me out.
I know.
Yeah. So, but you know what? Like this is. You have some protein at least. Let's see here.
Thank you.
We're going to look next week,
16 grams.
You know, you looked at
that's why
the
I choose
label.
it. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I love it. Okay. So we're actually going to talk about some of the things I look for on the nutrition facts label next week. So I don't want to like get into that too much and spoil it. Okay, so would you be eating this? Tell me how you'd be eating this. Like a meal, a snack? What would we be doing here?
On my way to work, I stopped by 7-Eleven because I pass it. I'll pick up 2. Okay. And I'll have one pretty much when I get to work. And then, maybe brunch,
Okay. Okay, so like a breakfast and then a snack.
something like that.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I don't want to get into like why I'm rating these based on the label because that's going to like spoil next week's. This says 15 grams of protein. Not
Oh,
16.
15?
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Mm-hmm. Close. Yeah, I mean, I'd put this as like a yellow.
Okay, yellow's not
Yeah,
bad.
I'd put this guy as a yellow here.
Cool.
What-
I'm just making like some gut reactions.
Why is it not
Why?
a green?
There's no fiber in here.
Ooh.
Oh.
Yeah. So, or less than 1 gram. It's not 0, but it's less than 1 gram. So, fiber recommendations are like 25 grams a day for women, about 30 grams a day for men. There are 28 grams of carbohydrates, 30 grams of fat, and we talked about 15 grams of protein. So, the protein and fat will help you not completely spike and crash because they're a little bit slower to digest than carbohydrate. But there's no fiber. And so you're not feeding your good tummy bugs. You're not supporting your microbiome with this. So I'm going to put it as a yellow. So I bet you could maybe guess what I would recommend, how I would recommend modifying it to turn it from a yellow into
I'm going to take a stab at it.
Yeah?
What if I got a yogurt?
Yogurt does not have fiber either.
Oh.
A glass of Metamucil.
I mean, processed fiber, but it's fiber. Yeah, so, we could add in an apple. You could add in some bell peppers. It depends on which gas station you go to. The gas station I
they
went
have
to.
apples. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, the gas station I went to is real small. They don't really have a lot of hot food even. It was really small. So they didn't have a lot of options, but some will actually even have like peppers and hummus, like as a cup, type of thing, or like a celery stick cup with some peanut butter or something. So pairing it with something like that.
Gotcha.
And then eating the fiber first will help also kind of slow that blood sugar spike.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's that one.
Interesting.
Let's see.
Oh boy, I'm getting nervous.
Oh no. Blue Heat. Takis.
And the crowd goes
And
wild.
the crowd goes, what?
Does the blue change the flavor?
Have you not had Blue Heat Takis?
I've not had Blue Heat.
Do we need to do an online
No.
online taste test?
I went to Trader Joe's yesterday on the way to this like insane dentist appointment that y'all were having to suffer me explaining. We went to Trader Joe's and they have like a healthier version of Takis, like the chili lime. Is that what these are? Chili lime, or they're just hot? These are extreme.
Healthy Takis
Hot
sound like
chili pepper.
Gnocchis.
The first
Not
Taki I
hot.
ever
kids like
had,
them.
my life was changed.
Really?
I was like, I need to have more.
I've had the red one before. I've never had
Yeah.
the blue. I don't know. It's not appealing to me. I don't know. Like, remember, I don't know. Were you a 90s? Y'all were 90s kids, maybe?
Oh, yeah.
Remember whenever they decided to try and launch, like, colored ketchup, like purple
Oh,
ketchup?
yeah. I
Like,
remember
ketchup?
that.
I was
Yeah.
so weirded out by it. I was like, I can't. I can't do it. Okay. So the Takis, how would we be eating this? As a snack?
Straight
as
out
a
the
lunch?
bag.
Like, what would this
yeah,
eating occasion
snack,
be?
after work snack, before you do your charts type snack.
Okay. By itself, the whole bag, or part of the bag with something else? What are we doing?
Sometimes I get full, but then I just keep eating because it's so good.
Okay. But it's not normally with something else, right? It's just this.
No, I usually pair it with a drink, which is also maybe in the box.
Okay, we'll keep pulling them out here.
Oh, no.
Okay. Also would advise maybe, well, it's still cold. Is this the kind of drink we would pair with it or no?
About 50% of the time.
Okay.
Yeah.
So this is a Core Power Elite Strawberry Fair Life protein drink. 42 grams of protein. Here, sorry. I forget that the camera's above me.
Oh, you got options. I'll keep up
Okay,
with you.
so we've got 42 grams of protein, 0 fiber, 8 grams of carbs, and then 3.5 grams of fat. And then I'm not going to look into, okay. So this guy, gosh, and I feel like, I don't know, I guess next week this will be kind of a teaser for next week. So this has sucralose in it. It's sweetened with sucralose, which is, the brand name is Splenda. So there's 7 grams of sugars in it, but it tastes even sweeter because it's 0 grams of added sugar. So all the sugar in here is from the milk. So they're adding in sucralose. I don't love sucralose as a sweetener when possible because it can damage our microbiome.
It's basically
so
sugar that we can't absorb, right?
we can't absorb.
So-
Yeah,
We
but
can't
it
absorb
does.
it?
We don't absorb the sucralose, so that's why it says 0 grams. It's like an artificial sweetener.
All artificial. Yeah. I
Yeah.
can't
So
even say
like
it.
sugar alcohols like xylitol, stevia, monk fruit, sucralose. That's why they're 0-calorie sweeteners, is because they're sweeteners that we cannot absorb. So they're
Equal
0
and
calories
Splenda.
for us. Equal, yeah, Splenda, stevia.
Amazing.
But they do change your microbiome, kind of in not great ways. So, you know, it is what it is. I don't know that I would recommend this all the time. I think if you're like in a bind and you're like, man, I'm hungry, I don't have a lot. It's Blue Talkies or the Core Power. I'd probably reach for the Core Power. These are a food that's just for enjoyment. Like there's no nutritional benefit to these at all.
Wow.
But they're enjoyable, you know? And so if you enjoy them, they're a food that is meant to be enjoyed. It's like cake, cookies, right? Like it's a food that's meant to be enjoyed.
Yeah.
I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
So, what about pairing that with the Core Power? Where does that? Obviously, you rate the Takis as a red.
Yeah,
Does
probably
that
would.
bring it up to a yellow?
I guess it could. Yeah, you can pair these. Mm-hmm.
Well,
I mean, if we're talking about just blood sugar,
Okay, I
if we're
gotcha.
just talking about blood sugar,
and again, for the record, we're not talking about this is what we nourish ourselves with. This is
No.
what we buy at the gas station.
at the gas station. Yeah, exactly. Because
Yeah.
there's definitely some stuff in here that I would not recommend like eating all the time, right? This is not, none of this grew in nature, right? It's all processed food. But you know, this is a food that you can enjoy. It's a treat. It's a snack that is tasty, that you enjoy. You've had a long day. You're seeking some comfort. You reach for this. Okay, cool. You're going to have, you know, some veggies and good quality protein at dinner because we did this.
Right.
Drinking this could help keep from spiking. One thing we want to keep aware of though is if we add more food into the mix, like calories do still matter. So like, yeah, we're trying to keep blood sugar from spiking, but we don't want to just keep adding like calories in to like offset the carbs from this other thing. And now you're in like 1,000-calorie surplus and you're gaining weight. Like that's not our goal here either. But yeah, so we could potentially pair these, you know, do like half of this and, you know, some chips for a snack would be.
All right.
Real
would
quick,
be that.
before you grab the other one,
Yeah.
could you rotate those for me? Well, rotate them for the top down
Oh,
so we can see the labels.
Sure.
There you go.
wait, the food label?
Correct. Like rotate the Takis and
Towards
the other
you.
one. Correct.
Like
Flip
that? Other way. Where do we?
it. Here you go.
Okay, like, okay.
So
I
rotate it
had
now.
it right the first
We'll
one.
flip it.
Okay. Oh, you just want the front.
Boom.
There
There
we
you go. Now we can read those
Cool.
labels. Good
Okay.
deal.
Okay.
Cool.
So we've got, I don't know how to say this, MRE? Redcon? Is that like that's like a military term, right?
Yeah, you know, I like that. It's similar to Core Power,
Okay.
but the reason I grabbed that because it has a lot of protein, but it actually tastes like amoxicillin, like you would give your child.
Wow.
You like that.
It's amazing. It's like bubble gum. It's a little bit thick.
You were the kid that they put the like childproof lid on the antibiotics for.
Absolutely. I'd just be squirting it right in my mouth. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Yeah. So it's really kind of similar. The exact same calories as Core Power.
Mm.
A little more fat, a little less protein, like 2 grams, not significant. Core
Same
Power is a
artificial
little more
sweetener.
carb. What is it sweetened with? Sucralose.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then they both have some gums in them, and those kind of thicken them up, which those can, you know, do kind of the same thing to our microbiome. So yeah, I would put these as equivalent.
I think that, you know, that's a big question I get a lot from patients, and I'm seeing it come up in the chat. Chris says, "Oh Lord, Doc." Yeah, I know. Okay, calm down. It's a gas station food. All right. Doctors are great at, you know, just do as I say, not as I do. Okay, we all know this. All right. So where was I going with that? Oh, the sugars. You have natural sugars, you have cane sugar, you have, and then all the different types of artificial sweeteners. A lot of people are diabetic. I think that statistic you were looking for earlier, I had to remind myself of it. What is it? It's like more than 50% are either diabetic or pre-diabetic in the country.
I knew you would know it. You're a numbers guy more than I am.
What's scary about that same reference, only 12% of Americans are considered metabolically healthy.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
Yeah.
12%.
It's really staggering and quite scary, actually. So insane. Metabolically healthy, like, should we kind of define what that means? Like, jump in from, your perspective. Yeah. Metabolically healthy is like you can easily switch between burning carbohydrate and burning fat for fuel. Your body can easily switch between those two. We were actually created to be able to do that so that we could have times of feast and times of famine whenever food was scarce. If you are not metabolically healthy, your body loses the ability to burn fat for fuel very efficiently. And that's why what we were talking about, your blood sugar can crash down and then we get these spikes and then these crashes. Your body can't burn fat for fuel very well. And so it keeps wanting you to have carbs, easily digestible carbs. Is that anything else to add to that metabolically healthy piece?
No, I mean, I think that makes sense. But yeah, the idea of sugar. So, most of the country has problems with their blood sugar. A lot of the topic of conversation is around, well, my doc said I can't have sugar, so I'm going to go with the diet stuff or the non-sugar stuff or like this where it's sweetened with sucralose.
Yeah, they don't have sugar in them, 0 grams.
What would be the best artificial sugar, or would you even just not even recommend that? You would just do natural cane sugar with modest amounts.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think it's a mix. And I think that's where it does need to be personalized. People do need to figure out what they're able to do, what they have the capacity to do. Like we were talking about, capacity is the fuel. If you go in and you're like, I'm not buying anything from a package, I'm making all my bread myself from, I'm grinding the wheat to make my own flour, I'm growing a vegetable garden, that's awesome. But do you have the capacity to sustain that, or is that coming from that spark of motivation? And we all have a different capacity, and that's where you really create the plan that's personalized. I would say like a modest amount of the real thing, honey, 100% maple syrup, dates, even like pure cane sugar, balsamic vinegar reduced is actually quite sweet. And whenever you actually stop eating this stuff that is hyper sweet, you become a lot more in tune with the subtle flavors of real food. Like, I don't know, have you guys ever eaten a blueberry and just remarked and marveled over the sweet floral taste of it? What?
Been a long time.
Yeah, blueberries, I think natural sugars and natural foods have a much more complex flavor profile that's a lot more interesting. But those senses are kind of dulled by these loud screaming artificial sweeteners, artificial flavors that are just so in your face that you really don't pick up on these other things. So the healthy food, you may not like the way it tastes. It may taste bland. It may not taste good. It may taste bitter. But it's really because your taste buds have just been trained to pick up these loud screaming artificial flavors and sweeteners. But yeah, a modest amount of those. If you're going to do something that is sweeter, that has something, not as whole foods natural, if that makes sense, I would do a monk fruit, maybe a stevia, something like that.
Cool.
When possible, which the stevia stuff in the monk fruit is more available than it used to be. I mean, in packaged foods and stuff, it's definitely more sucralose mainstream, but some of those others, if you look for them, you can find them.
I like what you said about the capacity, because I remember when I sort of awoke to all of this back in med school, actually, I think it was my first or second year there, and woke up to the idea of artificial flavoring and, these chemicals that are put into all these, all the products really. Mm-hmm. And so I was like, oh, this is all bad for you. We need to clean it all out. So my wife and I, we emptied the fridge with everything with artificial sweetener in it and got everything out of the pantry. And we had a big garbage bag of probably $100 worth of groceries. But 2 weeks later, we're like, well, we can't live without ketchup.
Yeah.
So definitely moderation plays a key, I think.
Yeah, yeah. And it goes back to being intentional, right? With those decisions that you're making and just not defaulting because you don't know what else to do or you don't have a different strategy. Like reaching for these blue Takis because you're like, man, this is one of my favorite snacks. I know it's not doing anything nutritionally for my body, but I really enjoy it, you know, and it's just not a default choice, if that makes sense. Okay, should we move?
Let's do it.
I think there's a couple more in here. Okay. The Dots seasoned pretzels. My kids like the red bag. Is that just the original, maybe? Let's see here. Dots
Is that yours,
The
Kevin?
delicious bag.
style
Oh, yeah.
pretzels.
I think that's Kevin's. My kids love Dots.
Kind of. I put these with like the Takis.
What?
Yeah, there's less artificial
Wow.
coloring in them.
I would have thought a little bit healthier.
I thought so too.
No-
I
no
mean,
food
there's
coloring.
Garlic. There's Parmesan cheese.
If you look at the nutrients, I'm like rolling our bodies away here.
And aren't pretzels healthier in general?
That's you know, I think that stems from like the 1980s low fat craze as being healthier. But if you look at these like Takis, they both have, so an ounce is a serving size of these foods. 28 grams, so 12 pieces of Takis, 16 pieces of pretzels in an ounce. So you can get a few more pretzels. 150 calories because they're a little higher in fat. Fat has 9 calories per gram. Carbs and protein have 4. So if you have a little more fat, you're going to have a little more calories. So 150 calories, 130 calories, 5 grams of fat, 8 grams of fat, 16 grams of carbs, 19 grams of carbs, 1 gram of fiber, 0 grams of fiber.
Oh, Takis for the win.
Takis for the win. And 2 grams of protein. So nutritionally, from just a label, I would say they're pretty much in line. This one still it does have spices and herbs, Kevin, in it. But it also has natural and artificial flavors in it as well.
So here's the
aside from
big
the artificial
question.
color.
Check this here out. So if we were to take those and arrange them,
I think there's one more. Do you want me to do the last
Oh, I
one?
think we got it. We got a few more in there.
I'm curious as to
I
if
frequent the gas
Takis
station.
go above the dots.
Okay. Cheese stick. Bah. Cheese stick.
Gotta have something
Cool.
filling.
Yeah. So cheese stick, I mean, this one I would say is probably one of the better guys.
Yes.
Let's see. You want me to start arranging them now, Kevin?
Well, I was
So
just
can,
wanting
like,
just
make
between the
space
two
for-
of those, the Takis and the dots.
Oh. Gosh, I don't know. Here. I guess I'd put I don't know. I guess I'd put dots a little ahead because of I really just don't love all the artificial colors.
No, I like how you stacked them on top. They're probably on the same line.
I mean, they're pretty. One is not that much better than the other. Okay, let's see. I've never seen this before. A Rocky Road Original marshmallow and roasted cashews covered in a smooth chocolatey outer layer. Okay, so it's like a Rocky Road candy bar.
It's chocolatey marshmallow goodness.
Okay.
It's
some
a comfort
cashews.
food.
Cool. Okay.
Cool.
the description just
I
sounds
mean-
good. Sounds great.
Yeah, there's not very many cashews in here. I was thinking
I should've-
maybe we would have some more protein or fiber from them. But
I
we
should have
don't.
just got like a bunch of protein bars, just lied and said, this is what I eat normally.
Okay. So we've got 220 calories, 10 grams of fat, 28 grams of carbs, 1 gram of fiber, 2 grams of protein, but 20 grams of added sugar.
Ooh, yes. Let's talk about sugar. How much do we need in a day?
You do not need
Ooh, that's a good question.
any sugar.
Really? None.
It is not required. I mean, add like sugar, like cane sugar, right? Like,
Right.
yeah, and actually some people argue that there is no like need for like carbohydrate either. Like we could run on keto.
Yeah, the
People
keto
eat-
diet. Yeah.
People eat ketogenic diet and don't ever
We
eat carbs and they
need
survive.
0 sugar in a day.
No, yeah, it is all for fun and
Wow.
enjoyment. Yeah, you don't need any sugar. So, because of all the added sugar and like pretty low protein, I'm gonna put this one probably last actually.
Yeah, no, that's the last filler. I did that on purpose, just for the show.
You're like, we need something in this like firm last place. Wasabi and soy sauce, boiled almonds. Let's see here. So you get to eat this whole pack. That's something important to look at with nuts, you guys, because they can be a little bit tricky, and sometimes it looks like it should be a single serving bag, and then if you flip it around, it's like 2.5 servings per container, and you're like, I just ate 700 calories of nuts, not even realizing it. So you can add it fast. Okay, so we got 260 calories, 23 grams of fat, 8 grams of carbs, 4 grams of fiber. This is our highest fiber food, and 8 grams of protein. So
I heard almonds were good for the brain.
yeah, they are good for the brain. They do have some stuff in here that I don't love. They have some modified cornstarch. Some disodium preservative stuff. I don't know. I'd probably put this guy out. This is hard because I feel like the rest of the stuff is like snacky, and this is more like a meal. I'd probably put this higher than the breakfast sandwich because of the fiber. On its own, it has the fiber.
Okay.
Let's see here. Okay. Planters honey roasted cashews. All right. So this would be interesting to look at nutrition compared to the almonds here. All right. So again, you get to eat the whole package of the cashews. You can eat whatever, you can eat the whole package even if it's more than one serving. You just need to be aware that it's more than one serving. I've been fooled by that before with like chips from the gas station. It's like the 2.5 size bag. And you're like,
The bags are getting huge.
Right.
yeah. But it looks like it should maybe be like a single serving bag, right? Okay. So 240 calories, 15 grams of carbs, 6 grams of protein, 1 gram of fiber. The cashews aren't quite as high. And there's 5 grams of added sugars in here. I don't know.
Judy says she read cashews aren't really a nut. Aren't they? Are they a legume?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a bean.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's like super healthy, right? Beans are good for you.
Yeah, but it has some honey roasted stuff on it. I'm going to put this maybe here. This is tough to like make these decisions. I'm a very like.
Are you currently lining these up as we speak? Because if that's the case, that sandwich is doing pretty good.
Yeah. Oh, cool. I haven't seen these at a gas station. I don't go into gas stations very often, right? So the salty turmeric super shot.
This is for when you just like feel bad about all the nasty food that you
like,
ate.
I eat the Takis and I take a turmeric shot.
I got the turmeric shot to keep me going.
Okay. What's in here? The ingredients are organic apple juice, organic lemon juice, organic turmeric, and organic black pepper. You guys most of y'all probably know this, but black pepper helps your body absorb the turmeric, the active compounds in the turmeric a little better. You got some vitamin C coming in here, 20 calories. I don't know, like, I guess this is the healthiest, but it's not really like food. Like, it's like a vitamin shot. I mean,
Like a liquid supplement.
like a liquid supplement. Yeah. I mean, I'll put that over there because it's not going to spike your blood sugar,
It's more for the inflammation that all the rest of that is giving me.
Yeah.
Right.
All right. Let's see here. Is this the last thing? Is this the last thing?
It may be.
Blah, I'm going to drop the box. Okay. A gigantic blue Gatorade.
So that's my favorite to pair with the blue Takis.
Ooh.
Is your favorite color blue?
My whole mouth just turns to a Smurf afterwards.
Wow.
I can't see patience. Everybody
It's like a
asks
party
about
in
it.
your mouth.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so we drinking the whole thing?
If I'm working out, usually not. If I'm just walking around.
Did you know there's 48 grams of added sugar in this thing?
Oh gosh.
Really?
Yeah.
So, wow.
0 grams of fat, 0 grams of protein. So this is like drinking. I would equate this to a soda with some electrolytes in it.
Wow.
I would.
I was talking with
There's better
Jose about
electrolyte
this
options.
because Jose was like, obviously he's been into Major League Baseball forever, and they give their players like the top of the top stuff to eat and drink and perform. I was like, where's Gatorade play and all that? Because we always see the ads
Yeah.
to everybody in the
Dump it on
audience.
the benches at the end.
He's like,
Great
we don't touch
question.
that stuff.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah, and I would argue, if you're like an endurance athlete running really far distances, if you're a teen athlete that's just burning like insane calories, insane energies, and you're like really running, like this has a place. I think Gatorade obviously has a ton of research, but if you're like going to the gym and doing some weight training or hopping on the treadmill for 30 minutes or the elliptical or riding around, the neighborhood, I think, and if you're really needing electrolytes, I think electrolytes absolutely have a place, especially if you're exercising in the heat here in Texas. They're necessary. There's better options that will do the job that aren't going to give you that sugar. So,
I am so curious now because you also went shopping at the gas station.
That is right. I almost forgot.
I went shopping at the gas station, and let me tell you, I think it was like the most authentic gas station shopping trip I could have done because I was running late. And I literally ran in there and was like power shopping through the aisles. It was a small gas station, and I was just grabbing what I could. There were some other options I did not grab because I didn't have arm space or time. There's something else I grabbed that the barcode wouldn't scan. I was like, I don't have time. Just go. So we can talk about kind of what I would choose in the gas station. Some of these things I did choose because we will eat them, actually. Another thing I wanted to point out is gas stations are really expensive. It's convenient. It is a convenience store, and you pay for that convenience from your pocketbook. So if you're somebody who is, making the argument that healthy food is expensive, the gas station should not be where you're shopping, right? There's a lot better places, and that goes back to that strategy, right? So you got motivation, capacity, and strategy. The strategy really can help you with the money and all of that. Okay. So I'm just going to pull these things out like at a time. So I got some nuts as well. We got some pistachios. This is one of our faves is pistachios at our house.
The caviar of nuts.
The caviar. I've never heard that before.
I didn't either. I just made it up.
Oh, okay.
Sounds good.
But if you like that in the chat, just let me know.
So there are 2.5 servings in this container. So if you eat the whole thing, you need to look at the second column. But in one serving is about 1/2 cup with shells. And one reason I like the shells is it kind of slows us down, right? Y'all remember us talking about it takes about 30 minutes for your brain to recognize that you're full. We want to chew to applesauce consistency. Well, if you're trying to, shell these nuts and you're chewing, you're probably going to chew that more than if you're just shoveling, all of this into your mouth, pouring it, walking down the hallway.
No, it's a straight pour.
Yeah. So the shell is an inconvenience, but a beneficial inconvenience.
Wait a minute,
sometimes.
people eat the shells?
No.
I'm about to say, okay.
No. Okay, so this guy's got 13 grams of fat. 7 grams of that is monounsaturated fat, which is the kind of fat that we don't get enough of typically that's really anti-inflammatory. So that's good. I like that they list that on there.
That's a good point. Non-fat is not good necessarily.
Yeah, we need fat.
We need fat.
We do need fat. We need 0 carbs. We actually technically do not need carbs, but we do need some fat.
Very important point.
Yeah, it is important. Thank you for delineating that a bit. We've got 8 grams of carbs and 3 grams of fiber. So kind of in line with our almonds, I think it was. And 6 grams of protein in here. And 0 grams of added sugar because I just got the salt, roasted and salted kind.
Cool.
So that is an option to do. So, if you're like, man, I'm going to have a core power, grab some of these too, right? We've got some healthy fats going, and some fiber to kind of help balance that out. Okay. Have y'all seen, this is not actually something I would buy unless I was at the gas station desperate. Like I said, I got eked out with meat. So I wouldn't buy it, but, if you're, someone who likes to live on the edge a little more than I do, this could be a good option. It has some cheese, some almonds, and some deli turkey in it. It's 160 calories for this, 12 grams of fat. They don't break out which types of fat, but you're probably getting some decent fat from the almonds and then the cheese. 4 grams of carbs, 1 gram of fiber, 11 grams of protein. So this is a pretty reasonable, it's not very high in calories. It's not going to keep you full if you're looking for a whole meal, but it's a decent snack. Let's see.
I think we're losing, Kevin.
We might be, but we're winning in taste.
Oh, no, those are good. I like those.
The perfect bars, they're a little sweet for me,
Yeah,
but
they're
they
not
are
bad.
a good snack.
I've had those before too.
I think it's maybe Costco. It's not the gas station, but I think maybe Costco sells like the small versions of these. Aldi also has these if you're an Aldi shopper, and they're probably going to be cheaper than the gas station. And normally Aldi is pretty easy to get in and out of. So that can be a part of your strategy. Instead of running to the gas station, run to Aldi. So one bar is 330 calories, 15 grams of protein, 20 grams of fat. Again, 13 of those are monounsaturated from the peanuts. It does have 12 grams of added sugar in it though. So like I said, it's sweet. I like a half of one is good, but it doesn't have all of the artificial stuff. It has some whole food powders, whatever they call that. That's like some kale, flaxseed, rosehip, orange, lemon, papaya, tomato. So you're getting some like micronutrients with that too, which is kind of nice. Because of all the fiber, it is considered to be low glycemic index. So what that means is it's not going to cause even though there's 12 grams of sugar, it's not going to cause your blood sugar to spike and crash as much because of the fat and the fiber that's in here.
Oh, I have a question.
Yeah.
So I heard that if you have 30 grams, okay, so somewhere along the way, the WHO recommended no more than 30 grams of sugar in a day.
Yeah, 25 or 30.
25 or 30, something like that. So if I have that bar and let's say there's 12 grams of sugar, but there's also 12 grams of fiber.
It doesn't offset.
It doesn't cancel out?
No.
Ah, darn.
No.
I wonder where I
Not
heard
in
that.
my mind. I think that's a little bit subjective.
Okay.
But I think sugar is sugar. It counteracts the carbs a little bit with the absorption rate, but it's still there. You still ate it. It's not like it disappears. An apple. I think most gas stations have apples and bananas.
That's
you
my
guys.
cue. I gotta go.
Pretty much me too.
This is a large apple too, so if you're
That's
concerned about
huge.
budget, you could eat half or split it with a buddy, and make your money go a little bit farther. But this would be something great, to pair in with our breakfast sandwich.
You said you're squeamish about gas station meat. I'm squeamish about gas station fruit.
You can wash this. You can wash it.
I know.
It's pretty easily washed. But you'd pair this together too to get some fiber and nutrients and make this a little bit more robust. You could pair it with your cheese stick. You could pair it with your nuts. This guy could go, with any of these things. It does have fiber. It does have carbs. So I would recommend pairing it with a protein just to make sure that your blood sugars, stays stable. It's not going to cause it to spike as much as like this or the Gatorade or anything like that, but there's not fat or protein in an apple. So pairing it can be helpful. Have y'all heard the term "don't eat naked carbs" before?
Not quite.
If you ate this apple by itself, it would be a naked carb. You want to dress it with some protein and fat. And that helps your blood sugar stay more stable. I think that's kind of a good, visual that.
So that'd be like, take for instance, just as a side question, apples naturally have sugar. All right. So that and I don't know, maybe one of the protein drinks.
Yeah, you can do that. That's a lot of.
That's not too
sweet.
bad. I mean,
No.
I was thinking the whole sweet thing too.
I don't know. I'm just not. I think as a kid, I had a huge sweet tooth. I think I'm like much more savory now. Like this, I can't. I could. I don't know. I don't think I'd want to drink those. Along the lines of the apple, I grabbed a cup of grapes, mostly because my daughter ate all of our grapes for lunch, and she likes grapes. So we will.
Man, that's
send
some good
these
looking
for
fruit. What
lunch.
gas
It
station
really
did you
is.
go
Yeah.
I
to?
mean, they
I
have
know.
some seriously big
It
stuff.
was the Tiger Mart. It's not very big or bougie or new.
This episode is brought to you by.
Tiger Mart.
Thank you guys.
They also have, I don't like pickles, and I wish I did because
I
they're really
love
good for
pickles.
you. I will give you these, Kevin, if you want them. But I brought them because pickles are a great crunchy snack. These are I don't know very much, the Sweet and Heat 3-pepper pickle pack. But they normally are fermented too, so they have some good probiotics in them.
So that's not a bad thing.
No. Well, like fermented beer and stuff.
What,
Is that what you're getting at? Like
not
fermented
so-
wine and beer?
All right. Side note. Jose brought this giant jar of pickles,
Yeah.
and I tear those up on a regular.
Yeah, that's fine. Pickles are a great snack.
But the juice is starting to get a little.
Oh, well, you don't want to give yourself food poisoning.
Well, I mean, I was wondering if the juice ferments a little bit.
I mean, yes, it would. So if it's starting to get nasty, I'd throw it out.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting.
That explains a lot.
Right.
You can really mess up yourself with that. I would throw that out if it's starting to turn. This is one of my favorite snack bars, actually, the Kind bars. They're gluten-free, low glycemic index, high in fiber. This is 190 calories, 15 grams of fat, but again, half of that is the nice monounsaturated fat. 16 grams of carbs, 7 of which, so like half of it is fiber. It does have 4 grams of added sugars, but like we were talking about, I would rather have a little bit of natural, like real sugar than all the artificial stuff. The fiber is coming from the nuts. Almonds and peanuts are the first ingredient, which means they're the highest % of the formula by weight. But they also are adding in a little bit of chicory root fiber. So that's going to bump that fiber up a little bit. But pretty short ingredient statement. It's a good option. Kind bars. Again, they sell this for less money in a box at the grocery store than at the gas station. So if you're trying to watch your budget, that strategy is really going to be key. Okay, and then I here's this like Jack Link's beef jerky and cheese stick. It kind of goes, over there too. It's in the refrigerated section. 19 grams of protein per package, 280 calories. So like there, you've got a nice robust snack there with some fiber and protein there. And then I didn't know if they would have this or not. Have you guys seen these?
I have.
I hear from people.
I thought you would like that one.
I'm so tired. I got it for Valentine's Day. Raspberry rose. It's pink and red. People to get tired of drinking water. What else can I drink? Herbal tea is great. This is another one though. If you want something with a little bit of, bubble and flavor and sweetness to it, it's not going to be as like acidic and sweet as a soda. It's not going to hit if that's what you're craving. But I enjoy it. It's 30 calories in this can, 9 grams of carbs, 3 grams of fiber, 4 grams of added sugar. It has some sparkling water, sugar, cassava root fiber is where they're getting some fiber from, 3 grams of fiber. Some apple cider vinegar, which can actually help slow down that blood sugar spike. Raspberry juice and some natural flavors. Stevia is what it's sweetened with here. Oh, sorry, I was trying to turn it for you. Stevia is what it's sweetened with. So that was one of those more like friendly sweeteners. So.
Wow.
Gas station.
Good job.
I was in there for like 5 minutes and came out with this abundance. So that's what we got. I don't know. What do you guys think? Are you surprised by anything?
Yeah. I'm surprised by quite
Kevin
a few
speechless.
things.
Okay.
Well, okay. Disclaimer. Jose brought those pickles for an old patient that used to come here.
Okay.
And then the patient no longer comes.
Oh.
So the pickles no one eats except me.
Yeah.
And I've just been.
Well, are they refrigerated?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I love the juice. I'm a huge fan of pickle juice
Well, that's
after
one thing
workouts.
people do for like instead of a Gatorade, right? Is like pickle juice.
Right. So yeah, when you said that they're fermented, I'm like,
Yeah.
the juice that I'm drinking, it might be a little fermented.
A little bit too fermented.
No,
like, not
I wouldn't
in a
say
good way.
too fermented,
Okay.
but I can definitely tell that there's a difference starting to happen. So I was like,
I don't know, Kevin. I would maybe like tap the brakes on that. I've seen some people with some messed up stomachs from food poisoning.
Gotcha. Well, I need to go ahead and hurry up and finish them then.
Yeah. Finish them up.
What I found interesting, I guess I didn't realize, but of course it's true. When you shop at a convenience store, you are paying for the convenience. A lot of the feedback I get when I talk to patients about nutrition or whatever is that, well, eating healthy is expensive. So I looked up this study. It was from 2022, sort of a meta-analysis looking at a lot of different studies. And they concluded in summary that on average, per serving, eating healthier is about 29 cents more.
Wow.
Only 29 cents more.
Like per year, per day?
Per serving.
Per serving. Okay.
Per serving. And does that, first of all, that seems like a bunch of nonsense to me. I don't know. Everything is super expensive. Part of the conclusion was, well, okay, you eat healthier, yes, you're going to pay more up front, but you're also going to save way more money on being unhealthy and the cost that goes along with that. But then the argument back is like, well, yes, but I still don't have the way to pay for it now.
Right.
Yeah. I think
That's a challenge.
It is a challenge. I think it kind of goes back to what Jose said a couple weeks ago about like investing in your health, you know, and part of that is going to be some time and some money into healthier options. It also goes back to what we talked about today with our capacity. What do you have the capacity to do? You know, and if you can make one incremental step that is more health supporting than what you were doing before, that's better. You know, it doesn't have to be perfect. You can't chase perfect. We're never going to get there. But can you do a little bit better? You know, Keith always says that. I hope you're a little bit better today. Okay, well, can you do something that helps you be a little bit better? You know, you chew your food more. You know, can you get pistachios instead of peanuts so that you're going to sit there and eat them a little more slowly? I think, you know, and then planning strategically. So it doesn't have to be the gourmet creme de la creme stuff. Like you can buy a bag of frozen broccoli that's pre-cut that retains a lot of nutrients and throw that in your air fryer next to a chicken that you've put some seasoning on. Call it a win. You know, I think people just sometimes don't have those ideas of what to do, and it can be a little bit overwhelming. So they just kind of default back to what they know, you know?
Yeah.
So I'm curious. So is that the final lineup right there?
I mean, I kind of started just piling them on. I think it's so hard to delineate this all perfectly. I think that's probably pretty close. Like the fruits and the, you know,
super interesting.
Pickles are kind of up there. This is, I mean, it's not really going to do anything super great for you, but it's not bad. I'd maybe put it a little more that way. But
wow.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad there's only one candy bar up there.
Maybe
good.
I don't know, you guys. There's so many things to consider. We're going to get into that more next week, right? Of like, what all do we consider when we're looking at diet and food and making these changes?
Right. Your level of activity, so forth and so on.
Yeah. Well, and what you're needing, you know, in that moment,
Right.
What your physiology needs, what your goals are. You know, I think it's hard to make an absolute, this is the way, you know, but I'd say generally this is probably how I'd place it.
Here's one thing. I think, because I've heard this a couple times, if there'd be a one-word takeaway, would you say it would be natural or nature? Or what would you give it as a short phrase?
I would put, and so if our title is motivation is the missing ingredient, I would maybe take the takeaway word as capacity. Because that also kind of ties into an action step of you can ask yourself, what do I have the capacity to do tomorrow that's going to help me get closer to my health goals?
I like that.
Yeah, maybe it's just assessing what you're eating, writing it all down for a day because you really haven't been paying attention. Maybe it's listening to a health podcast. Maybe it's asking for a referral for a registered dietitian so that we can, you know, guide you through this process and help you come up with some personalized strategies. You know, maybe it's walking into Aldi on your lunch break instead of the gas station. You know, I think capacity.
I like that.
I do too.
Yeah.
It's human. It's realistic.
Right.
It is.
It's sustainable.
And it's got forgiveness in there too.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. We're
Comfort foods. It's okay to have comfort foods. Just don't live on comfort foods.
Live on comfort foods. Yeah. Yeah, I think food can do a lot for us, but being our like sole source of comfort, it's going to let us down every time.
Yeah.
If that's what we're relying it on, because that's not its main job. You know, it's a job of it, but it's not the main job of it. So it's going to disappoint and leave you feeling kind of frustrated or unfulfilled, I guess, if you will. So yeah, let's kind of wrap it up a little bit, maybe circle back. So capacity is going to be our word. It's not just motivation. You may need some motivation to have the spark. If you don't have any motivation truly, like you have no desire to make any changes, I think you could start there and ask yourself why. Why do I feel like I should make some changes? Why do I want to make some changes? Start to envision a life that may look different than what it might look like now without telling yourself it's impossible. Just dream like a little kid again. and kind of latch onto that. Remind yourself of that vision if that's something that excites you and lights you up and motivates you. Depleted systems can't push through. So taking a step back, understanding your capacity, understanding that motivation, and then coming up with a strategy, and then not getting ashamed or embarrassed whenever you go reach for the blue talkies, just doing it intentionally. Or, if it's not intentional and you're slipping into habits that you're not wanting to slip into, understanding, okay, it's not that I'm a bad person, that I'm a failure. Something is wrong with my capacity or strategy, so I need to go back and troubleshoot what those are. And I think I talked last week about dietitians. In my practice, we help people remove barriers. And so those things would be some barriers towards you making that consistent action that you need to make. Do we have any questions in the chat that we need to answer?
We can wait a little bit. I will say this, one thing I found pretty unique between tonight's podcast and last night's, 2 C words. So last night's C word takeaway would have been consistency, and tonight would be capacity.
Yeah, I like it. And you can't be consistent if you don't have capacity. So they're both important. They're both important for sure. Someone is asking maybe what the drink was. Yeah, it's called Poppy. Keith. Poppy, P-O.
Why don't you show that up to the camera?
Yeah. Here. They sell this at like Target. Another fun drink I like that is like a sparkling drink is Spindrift. P-O-P-P-I. Spindrift is going to be a little bit more like a sparkling water, but I don't like artificial flavors. I don't like the way they taste. And so they're actually flavored with juice. So like the grapefruit one has a little bit of grapefruit. They make a really great no-hito one that's a lime and mint. And that's good. And then Olipop is the other kind of popular one of these. Trader Joe's makes a Trader Joe's brand also if you're by a Trader Joe's. Again, I would say it's not really doing anything to support your health necessarily, but it's a fun treat that's not setting you back too far either. I wouldn't recommend drinking like 10 of them a day. They're also very expensive, so that's kind of self-limiting in and of itself. They should not be your primary source of hydration, but if you're like, man, I just want a treat, something fun, a little bit different, this would be a good option.
So here's one quick question. If you had to rank between, let's say, these granulated sugar, cane sugar.
They're the same thing. Well, sometimes granulated sugar can be from beets, like sugar beets instead of cane sugar. But yeah, that's kind of the same thing.
Got it.
I'd put them the same. Our body would absorb it about the same way.
Okay.
Yeah, a lot of questions come up with the idea of diet soda and regular soda. And,
I did.
That can be a whole lecture in and of itself, quite frankly.
Other episode.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I think it goes back to like those diet sodas. Have a lot of the time they're sweetened with more of the sucralose, like these protein drinks, which can harm the microbiome. There's some studies that show that they can still cause a blood sugar reaction, still a little bit of a spike. I would say they're probably more friendly than a regular soda if you're going to drink it. You also have to kind of look at all of the additives and stuff to it. Again, I would say it's not doing anything to support your health. It's a treat. I drink a soda every once in a while. I'm like, you know what? A Coke sounds incredible. I'll have a little bit and I'll move on, and I'm like, man, that was really good. Once or twice a year is all I have it because I just don't want it that often. We don't have it in our house. It's not accessible. It's not a part of our daily lives, if that makes sense.
Right. Yeah. Whenever my kids leave an empty can on the counter, we don't have soda really at our house either, but sometimes we'll get a 12-pack or something. But I remember when I was a kid, going to my grandparents' house, they were big on having, a pantry full of whatever soda that you wanted. And they were of the generation where you finished everything that you started. Right. Oh, yeah. So I would get in trouble as a child, actually leaving a half full can of whatever root beer on the counter. You don't waste that, So, but coming at it from my perspective now, I'm like, no, it's okay. Leave it. We're going to throw it away. It's better for everybody to just take a sip and forget about it. Yeah,
and that's something that's really cool. I'm sure you've maybe noticed it with kids, but like, I don't really like not allow food. Like they had blue talkies at a birthday party, it's probably not anything I'd ever buy, but if they went to a birthday party where they were serving this, I wouldn't be like, you can't have it, you know, or anything like that. But they're pretty self-limiting. The kids, you know, they are very aware and in tune with their bodies, and they haven't developed all of these like comfort, you know, masking of our emotion types of things that adults come up with as we grow up.
That's a good point. Yeah.
Yeah. And so they're kind of like, I don't want any more. Like, we went to a birthday party with Bo, my 4-year-old. He had one on Saturday and Sunday, and both days he took one bite of the cupcake and he was like, I'm done. I don't want any more, you know? And he liked it. But he was just like, I don't want any more. And I was like, okay, cool. We'll throw it away. You know? And so I think they're in tune with their bodies and what they want and don't want to. And when you expose them to a variety of foods, they will, you know, manage it pretty well, I think.
Yeah. Awesome. Good point. Well, thank you for sharing all of that. My goodness.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Thank you guys for bearing it all on YouTube Live.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm going to live this one down, but
so
it's not my regular diet. Well, kind of, but not really. My wife does make me some really good lunches. I will say that. I was going to pull up some pictures.
It's a great disclaimer.
No, she really does. But you know, sometimes I eat it and I get hungry later.
Right.
You know, sometimes the wheels fall off, or sometimes you just are, you know, at a loss, and that's okay. It happens. You know, not everything is going to go exactly by the book every single day. But again, it's what's Jose said, consistency. What are you doing most of the time? You know, that's really going to make the difference for you there.
Well, I can't wait to see and hear what Keith has to come up with for tomorrow. It's been a great session. I'll give you 30 seconds to take us out.
Yeah, sure. So if you enjoyed tonight's episode and you want to hear Keith and you want to come back next week, which I think you do, because should I tell him what we're doing here?
Sure.
Keith is coming on. Keith is joining me, and we're going to talk through some nutrition stuff with Keith, about like what he's eating, how I would adjust it, all of that. So kind of a real life mock nutrition session. Make sure you subscribe to our channel. Please like this video. Leave your comments if you have any questions that come up later. We'll make sure we answer it. But subscribing to our channel, liking our videos really helps us get our messaging out and helps us help more people. So thank you guys for your support. Thank you guys for being here. Capacity, strategy, motivation, they're all necessary. It's not just motivation. And if you rely too fully on it, you're going to find yourself feeling really frustrated every time. So think about those three things. Think about your capacity for this week and what you can do to make some changes towards your health. We'll see you next week.